Okay, so how to earn points for your team for the Open. We're going to go 3 different ways to earn points. First one everyone should be doing is commenting their score below this post, and also comment which version of the workout you did. The next one is posting to social media and tagging the Panic Gym in that. And that could just be a story, doesn't have to be a crazy post, a video, a picture, maybe a little clip of the video of the workout. It doesn't have to be the whole workout, just something in there to post to social media. If you do that, you get a point as well. And then the third way to get a point is coming top 3 in a version, either the RX version or the home version, not any of the scaled versions though. So if you pick a scaled movement past the home version, then you won't get a place on that top 3. So girls versus boys to try and fight for the top 3 on that. Moving on to the workouts.
Okay, your workout for today, you have an ascending ladder. You're going to start with 1 wall walk. We'll go over movement standards in a second, so make sure you stay tuned for that. It is going to be 1 wall walk, then you are always going to do 10 times the amount of double unders. So 1 walkout, 10 double unders. Then you're going to go 3, 30, 6, 9, 15, and then finish 21 wall walks and 210 double unders. That is your RX version. If you are doing the at-home version, the only difference is you're going to change that double under to a lateral jump. So you need a tape, which is at least 2 inches thick, and you're doing a lateral jump. You jump over and back for 1 rep. If you are scaling for at home, you're going to change the wall walk for a walkout into a hand release push-up and then walk yourself back up. And instead of that lateral jump, you can decide, this one's up to you. You can either do the lateral jumps or you can do jumping jacks. So feet together, hands come apart, etc. for that 1 rep. Movement standards, seamless transition.
I'm lining up what we're doing. Right, first one is going to be the wall walk. So first thing straight away, Jack's already said, is you need to have 2 tape lines on the floor. Jack comes over a little bit closer, just pop up for a minute, sorry Lewis. Oh no, do that, do your plank, it looks good. Get the reps in. So you see this first line, that needs to be 10 inches away from the wall. Straight away when I go through these movement standards, I would say to everyone, go on the CrossFit.com and look at the open standards so you can read it on there, rather than pausing and rewinding this video, but I will run over them quickly. Tape is 10 inches away from the wall. That will be the start of the tape, and that's where Lewis's hands have to come up to, which we'll see in a sec. The other tape line is going to be shoulder width. So the start of this tape line is in line with Lewis's shoulders. If you're not quite sure, the bony point that kind of attaches right at the top, the tip of your shoulder. So Lewis starts down for his wall walk. Some part of his hands, or obviously fingers, need to be touching that line. Common sense, start of his fingertips means he's less distance to travel. Lewis's feet must be up on the wall now before his hands move. So thumb here presses into the wall, Lewis walks his hands on, feet go up all the way until he touches the tape with some part of his hand, rep finished, back down again. His hands must touch the tape on the way down before his feet come down onto the floor. So if he does 1 more rep for us, touches the tape with his hands, feet stay on the wall till he touches the tape, then they can come off. Couple of little points about this. Common sense, if Lewis is going to rest or take his time, he wants to rest lying down on the floor with kind of no stress or no load to his shoulders. First thing you should have thought when you saw this workout is your shoulders are going to blow up. So try and do that wall walk reasonably quickly, get back down, take your rest on the floor. The other movement is going to be double unders. So straight away, if you haven't got double unders, you will need to scale this option. Rope passes under Lewis twice for every single jump. If you are doing this workout at home, it would be really helpful to have someone judge you or count your reps. High rep double unders all the way up to that 150, 210, it may be quite easy to do 2 or 3 reps wrong here and there. So maybe if you've got partner, children, friend, whatever, on Skype, whatever you're doing, get someone to help you out and count your reps a little bit.
Is that still a thing?
Skype. I don't know why Zoom's blown up and Skype hasn't blown up too as much. I don't know what Zoom does that Skype doesn't. I guess maybe more people can. I don't know if you can have more than 1 person on Skype. That's it, I'm going to buy some stock.
Anyway, this is really good content.
Lateral jump.
Oh yeah, so lateral jump, you need to find a line on the floor. That line should be the line you're using for your shoulders. Obviously we're going to do this one, it's a little bit easier to film. It's a 2-footed jump, up and over the line and back. There and back is 1 rep. So if Lewis slows down for a sec, that's 1, 2, 3, like so. So you've got to go there and back. Common sense, your feet can't be touching the line. You've got to clear the whole thing, and it's got to be a 2-footed jump. It can't be a step back and forward. Next movement.
Jump jack.
That's scaled.
Okay, wall walk. So our scaled version for this is going to be a little bit different. On the official CrossFit.com, they've put a bear crawl, but obviously we know a lot of people at home are going to be limited for their distance, and a better scale for them that will be very similar is going to be a wall walk. So Lewis starts, walk out. Lewis starts and keeps his legs as straight as possible. He walks out into press-up position. His chest must touch the floor and he must take his hands off. So that's how we know he is all the way down in that bottom position. From there he walks his way up, all the way to the top. As Lewis does a couple more reps, you'll notice Lewis's feet should never move from where they are. So even when he's onto his toes, what you're not doing is shuffling your feet back and forward. They must stay where they are. It's his hands that walk all the way out. Chest touches the floor, both hands leave the floor at the same time before he walks all the way back up. That's nice and simple. Star jump?
Yeah.
Or jumping jack, I think is on the official scaled version.
It's on the foundation.
On the foundation version. So obviously, again, have a look on the website, make sure you see all the scales before you do this. Jumping jack just has to be touching your sides, I believe, and then probably touching your hands overhead, and needs to be a clear jump. With things like the jumping jack, it's more important you get a good workout in than you maybe hit a certain standard or do these little bits. So with the RX one, with the scaled one, there's very clear standards. If you're down onto your star jump, things like that, try and do what works well for you. First little thing you want to be aware of is warming up your wrists really well. So if Lewis gets down on his knees, palms, we've done this in the gym before, fingers away from you, you want to do maybe 10 to 15 rocks back and forward. Each time try and keep your hands solidly on the floor, and he's kind of increasing that range of motion as you go at the wrist, so you get a really good stretch. Lewis can then turn his fingers out and do the same side to side, and then finally can turn them all the way into him and go back and forward again. Second wrist warm-up Lewis can do. Wrist rolls, so you can do them starting with fingers out. So you try and go in a nice circle, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Make sure you're kneeling like this. And then you can also go fingers crossed. So we do neglect this one a little bit. Why is it zooming in so much?
No, I don't know why I just demo.
Yeah, I was good there. Next one's going to be bounding. So if Lewis jumps up, heel to toe rocks. So I would do 20 heel to toe rocks. So all the way up onto his toes, and then all the way back onto his heels, like so. The next one I would do is just going to be 20 kind of pogo jumps, which is Lewis up on his toes, and he's going to be bouncing in the jump, the same way you would if you were skipping. I would do 20 reps of your bounding. And once you've done that, I would then do 20 reps of your lateral jump over the line. So a nice little progression, get your calves, ankles warmed up. Final bit is going to be your spine warm-up. So for your spine warm-up, you're going to get a hammer and just smack it on. No, joke. I didn't even think of spine warm-up.
Cat cow.
Cat cow.
Cat cow. Cat cow. That's the way to talk about coffee. Cat position, cow position. You're basically going from an extended position into a flex position, and you're warming up your spine. What people will find with these is if you're not keeping your core tight on those wall walks especially, you may start to arch your back and put pressure through your back. So make sure you do warm up really well. Next one Lewis is going to do, roll onto his back. He doesn't know what he's doing, I'm going to talk him through it. Knees into his chest, arms out to the side, and he's going to slowly rotate so his knees go down to the side.
I'm not going to do that because it's bad for my...
He's got bad. He's injured because Lewis tries to do CrossFit even though he's too old now and injured.
It's from snowboarding.
It's from snowboarding, so don't talk about sensitive. So then from there, Lewis would just rotate side to side. So you'd have a little bit of lateral movement, a little bit of rotation at his spine. I would maybe do 10 of your cat cows, 10 of your twists, and then do a second round of that. If there's any other little mobility warm-ups you want to do, add them in before you start.